Okay, let's get started. Thanks, guys, for being here tonight on the team call. We have a special guest, one of our very own, one of the most successful coaches on Team TryCep's, Lauren Kaliski. So Lauren is one of my personally sponsored coaches, and she's going to talk today about creating a never-ending network. So how do you continue to build relationships and continue to bring people into your network and have this never-ending flow of people to talk to? I know a lot of you guys struggle with meeting people or with just having that constant flow of messages coming to your inbox. And one of the problems that Lauren has always told me that she's had is the fact that she has too many messages coming in. What a great problem to have, right? So she's going to kind of teach you, or really teach you, how she's created that environment, how she's created trust with people, that they come to her and that they send her messages, and that it's a constant flow of people. So really quick, I just want to share a story of how Lauren and I met. So I was a coach for about a year, and I just had started getting into Instagram. This was in probably December of 2012, January of 2013, and I had come across Lauren's Instagram account and her clean eating recipes. At that time, she was blogging and posting clean eating stuff. So I really loved what she was doing. I was a new student at IAN, so I was really trying to clean up what I was eating, and she posted a blondie bar made out of chickpeas. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like, I've got to make that. So I made it. I posted a picture of it. I really had no idea what I was doing on Instagram, but I posted a picture of it and I tagged her, and I was like, okay, I've got to get to know this girl better. She's got to be on my team. I was just kind of relentless in talking to her, and I tagged her and was like, these were so good. And then she asked me to write a comment on her blog, and I was like, of course, like, sure, I'll do that. And then I was like, let's be friends on Facebook. And before we knew it, we were chatting on Facebook, and I was talking to her after a Super Saturday in January on my way home from Green Bay, and we closed the deal, and she became a coach. I think you got the Brazil butt lift challenge pack, if I remember correctly, possibly. I don't know.
But it's okay. It's Shalene Extreme.
Anyways, was it Shalene Extreme? Okay. Yeah. So I remember just knowing, like, just connecting with people in that way. And it's such a cool topic that it's kind of neat that we're talking about that now, because that's truly how Lauren and I met. We would have never met each other had I not found her on Instagram. So it's just a really neat thing on never giving up on people and connecting. So I'm going to open it up to Lauren, and I'd like for her to share her perspective on what she thought when I first was reaching out to her, like what was going through her mind, and then maybe a little bit about her story, and then she'll jump in for you guys. So Lauren, you can take it away.
Yeah. So, well, Sarah really got my attention by just building a relationship with me first, right? So like the first interaction or knowing of Sarah was her making these blondies, right? So I was a brand new blogger at the time, and didn't really have a big following. So she really got my attention by just doing something as simple as making my recipe. So I think, Sarah, I'm not sure right now, like what view you've got it in, but I think it's still on your face. At least that's what it looks like from my view. But anyways, so when Sarah first started kind of trying to get my attention, though, I thought she was like crazy. I was like, who is this girl? Like, why is she like making my recipes and commenting on my stuff? And she wants to be my friend? Like, wait, what? Like, I was just kind of like, this is like weird, but it was cool at the same time. And I was so open to it because I didn't have friends that were into health and fitness either. And so Sarah was like my new friend who was also into health and fitness, just reposted my recipe. So I immediately wanted to see what she was up to. So just goes a long ways to show that start with the relationship building process. You'll get someone's attention, and they're just naturally going to want to know what you do. Like, you won't have to do a whole lot to get them to start asking questions. I think Sarah actually, what got me to reach out to her, I messaged her about coaching. It was when she posted about going on the Success Club trip, the cruise. And I actually joined her team and then earned that cruise in my first year as a coach and got to go on it. And that was like the thing that was like, I want to travel. Well, I want to go with her. So anyways, that was how me and Sarah met. But before I dive into what we're going to talk about tonight, which is really just building a never-ending network, I want to let you guys know a little bit about me before Beachbody. For those of you that don't know me, obviously my name is Lauren, but I was not into health and fitness. Like I was not like a health and fitness known for that. I was a party girl, a drive-through junkie, a college student. I was not like into healthy eating. When Sarah met me, I had just started my journey, basically. I had just like decided I was going to make this switch to clean eating. And what that meant is really that none of my current network knew me for health and fitness. They all knew me as like this kind of like skinny girl in high school who gained a whole bunch of weight in college and just like disappeared off the face of the earth because I wasn't on social media. I wasn't building a network on social media prior to being a Beachbody coach, right? So when I decided to sign up as a coach, I actually joined originally just for the discount and just to be a part of the community. But when I decided that I was going to build the business, that took me about 3 months to get to that point where I was like, okay, I want to do something with this. It's not just a hobby. I want to make this a business. I think we all kind of have a turning point. Some of us join just for the business, but we all have that like turning point where you get serious about it. So when I had that turning point, I was like, well, if I'm going to build this business, I need to meet a whole bunch of new people because at the time I had 100 Facebook friends and I had like a small following on Instagram, like probably under 1,000 followers. And that Instagram following had come just through sharing my like clean eating journey and that kind of stuff. Nothing Beachbody related. But I really didn't have like a big network of people. I didn't have friends that were going to take me seriously about health and fitness. Okay. So when I signed up as a coach and really decided to work the business, I kind of had a limiting mentality that I've broken through a lot with personal development, but my limiting mentality ended up being both a good and a bad thing. And that mentality was nobody that I currently knew wanted what I had to offer. Therefore, I had to go meet a whole bunch of new people. So that mentality was a good and bad thing for a couple reasons. One, I didn't reach out to a lot of people that were in my warm network because I was like scared of what they were going to think of me. But on the flip side, it caused me to get outside my comfort zone at the very beginning, which I think is something that is scary for new coaches. Like we just want to stay with like that current network that we have. But I just got outside of that right away and focused on building new relationships anywhere and everywhere. Okay. But mostly on social media. 99.9% of my business has been built online through social media. Okay. So, you can apply these types of things to your everyday life in person, but I just want you to know that's not how I built my business personally. So I really started building relationships anywhere and everywhere. And, my biggest objection when it came to the whole coaching thing, and I don't know, maybe you guys can relate to this, but I was like, okay, well, I definitely want to inspire people and I want to share my passion for healthy living and how good I'm feeling with other people, but I don't want to be a salesperson. Like show of hands, like how many people are like their biggest objection was like, I don't want to be a salesperson. I don't want to be that person that all my friends run away from when I come to a party, right? Like, no, that's icky. It doesn't feel good. That's not what I wanted. So, but I knew I loved sharing this passion. So it's like, how can you authentically share this passion without being a salesperson? And that's just by sharing your story. So I just got outside my comfort zone. I started meeting a whole bunch of new people on social media and sharing my story. I want you to really think big with social media because there's so many different platforms and some platforms are going to work for you and others aren't. Okay. So don't get discouraged if you try something and you're like, this just isn't working for me. You're not going to get everything and you're going to find one platform that's your favorite, but that doesn't mean you can't get yourself out there and spread your reach by, posting your stuff on your blog, your Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram. I really, really got outside my comfort zone quickly and posted on all of those forms of social media. And at the time, I didn't really realize how key that was for my business. But I can tell you, like my very first, actually, I think I'm going to get into this a little bit more as I keep going. But my very first blog post that I put myself on there still drives most of my traffic. Okay. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as we continue. But I want you to know that sharing your story and becoming vulnerable is going to be your best tool for building your network, okay? If you're struggling with meeting new people and starting new conversations, you need to make yourself vulnerable and put your story out there publicly, way more than just like your Facebook friends. It's got to be out on social media where it can have more of a reach. So I started sharing all these things. Like, you're like, what do I share? What's my story? Your story is everything that's going on in your life on a daily basis, right? So that includes a lot more than just Beachbody, but it definitely included a lot of Beachbody as well, because I love Beachbody. And so I started sharing what I loved about coaching versus like just talking about coaching. I talked about my experience as a coach and what I was going through, because that was personal and that was part of my story, right? So I was traveling more. I went to Coach Summit my first year. And then I went to Texas for a Platinum Edge conference. And then I went on the cruise. So like all these trips within like my first year of coaching, I took 3 trips with Beachbody. And this was like me traveling more than I had ever been traveling as an adult. And I was like so excited about it. And so I started sharing that with people. I'm traveling all the time and it's because of Beachbody and it's so much fun. I shared how amazing I was feeling, and all the friendships that I was making on the team. I really, like I said, did not have friends that were into health and fitness. So it was so nice to have this community of people that just got what I was going through, the good and the bad days, and were on the same page as me. We could naturally just relate and connect, right? So, I just started focusing on all this good and abundance that was coming into my life because of Beachbody. It was opening up these little doors all over the place where all these good things were coming into my life. And so I just started sharing what was good so that I could attract more of that. Because what you put out there is what you're going to attract. And I started just putting out what I wanted to get back, right? So remember that what you love, share everything that you love. Like Beachbody to me has been a platform to share everything that I'm super passionate about. Not just Beachbody products, but overcoming PCOS, clean eating, traveling, living life by design, living the life of your dreams. Like these are all things that I'm passionate about that have nothing to do with Beachbody to me. So remember that you are so much more than just a Beachbody coach, and all of those little things about you, whether it's you're a mom or you like crafting or you have dogs and you're obsessed with them, like whatever it is, or you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, like whatever those little things are, like that's what makes you you. And those are going to all be little things that help you connect with more people and expand your network. So share those things. And really, when you're attracting people, you need to think outside the box. So first of all, I highly suggest all your social media platforms are public. If you're not already public on Instagram, you need to be. Same thing on Facebook. When you open your reach up from just your friends or friends of friends being able to see it, and you go public, and you can change that in your privacy settings, you have expanded your reach significantly. Because now, do you ever see stuff coming up in your newsfeed, like a friend of a friend liked a post? Well, you only see that stuff if the person's public. Okay, so your stuff needs to be public, and if you've got like certain things that you don't want posted on social media or for the whole world to see, you can change the privacy setting on that one post. But it's really important. My rule of thumb is I don't post anything on social media that I wouldn't be okay with the entire world seeing, and then therefore everything I post can be public. Social media does not need to be your entire life. Just post the parts of your life that you want people to see. Okay. So that doesn't mean that my life is always fine and dandy. Like there's stuff that comes up, I just don't post about it, right? Okay, so make yourself public and then think outside the box when it comes to hashtags. So like if you're hashtagging on Instagram or Facebook and you're not public, your hashtags aren't reaching people. They're stopping right there. You just look like you're just hashtagging and talking like Justin Timberlake. Like, no, there's a reason to these hashtags. There's a method to this madness. You're hashtagging because you want to expand your network and reach more people, okay? So make sure your hashtags are fun and creative. Stop hashtagging Beachbody hashtags, okay? Like the only people you're reaching when you hashtag Beachbody hashtags are Beachbody coaches. And I'm pretty sure that's not your target market, right? Shouldn't be. So make sure you're, getting creative. Think about, where you live. Hashtag things that are specific to your location and, building a local team. So for me, I'm doing like a lot of PNW, Pacific Northwest, PCOS fighter, polycystic ovarian syndrome, holistic health. Like you really got to get outside the box and think about all the little things like dog mom, pug mom, like whatever is going on. Yeah. Hey, Tiffany. So whatever is going on in your life, like those are all things that are going to attract your network. So really like just don't limit yourself with only doing health and fitness hashtags. It's a really big disservice. You're actually better off doing no health and fitness hashtags and then doing a whole bunch of other hashtags that just describe you and are going to help you reach your target market. Okay, so you have to do some exploration with hashtags and really get out there in the trenches and do some research about what hashtags are going to reach your target market. But I take all the hashtags that I use regularly, I put them in lists. They're chunked up into like groups of 10, and they're in my notepad on my phone. So when I post something, it's really easy, copy and paste into the comments of my Instagram posts, and there, bam, hashtags. You can use up to 30 hashtags in a photo. Make sure you're using all 30 of them. That expands your reach. Why not use them all? I'm not going to go too much into like hashtags because we could do a whole training on that, but I just want you to know that like those things are key to expanding your network and your reach. And like Facebook, for example, with groups. I know a lot of people are in like health and fitness groups on Facebook, which is great. But like, make sure you expand outside of just health and fitness, because I'm pretty sure you guys are all into other things besides just health and fitness, right? So, I mean, you could be in a stay-at-home moms Facebook group. I'm in Seahawk fan Facebook groups. I'm in polycystic ovarian Facebook groups. I'm in recipe swap Facebook groups. And I actually try to like get as far away from like health and fitness and way more into specific things. That way I can just connect with people. So if you're a runner or, you like dogs or whatever, I'm just like, you go into the search bar on Facebook. You can search groups. There's tons of groups out there. You're not just going to join 5 groups and they're all going to be great and fabulous. Like this, once again, is going to take time of you like playing around with it and being like, this group kind of sucks. I'm going to leave now. Or this group's great. When you go into these groups, don't just be a fly on the wall, okay? Nothing's happening if you're just a fly on the wall. Go start the conversation. Be the conversation starter. How do you start conversations? Well, go ask questions. Questions are an immediate conversation starter. So if you're looking for a recipe to make for dinner tonight, why not just go post in a recipe swap group like, hey, looking for some healthy, clean eating dinner ideas. Anyone have a favorite recipe they want to recommend? I don't know, like I just pulled that off the top of my head, but like just go in there and like ask questions and engage with people, because that's going to get them talking back and forth with you. So don't just be a part of the conversation, start it. And get out on Facebook and think way bigger. If anyone has like ideas of different Facebook groups that you could join, why don't you type them in the chat box and just like bounce off each other. Like, what are some different ideas of Facebook groups you could join to meet your target market? And, that is really going to help you just spread your reach. So once I've had some dialogue with people back and forth in a Facebook group, then I go and I friend request them, okay? And I add them and I start a conversation with them privately. But by me, like, not just being the fly on the wall, by starting the conversation, when I send them a friend request, it's not weird because they know me as that girl from that group. So I'm not a total stranger, okay? It works. So yeah, guitar players, artist groups, postpartum, mom of toddlers, photography. Yeah, like everything. These are great. Like none of these have anything to do with health and fitness. It's awesome. But the thing is, everyone can use health and fitness. So even if it has nothing to do with health and fitness, like your focus is just not just finding people that are on a weight loss journey. You just need to build relationships with anyone and everyone, because they're all going to need your help. Everyone needs help with this. That's why Beachbody is so amazing, is because we have something to offer to literally everyone, right? Especially with Beachbody On Demand. So I really want to emphasize that the focus of expanding your network needs to be on the relationship building. Okay, so like type in the chat box right now. To run a business, what is the one thing every business needs to run a business? Anyone know? Trust. Yeah, Jessica, inventory. That's what people need. That's what makes a business run, is inventory. And your inventory is relationships. That is what your business runs off of. So the more relationships you have, the bigger your business is going to grow. Okay. You have to have inventory. I think often when we talk about this whole inviting thing or starting conversations, we overcomplicate it. And I want to make it really simple for you, because this business, Reaching Success Club, reaching your goals, is not about fancy pictures that you post on Facebook. It's not about all of these, the things you might see. It's everything that's happening behind the scenes is what's going to help you get to your goals. All of the conversations and all of the relationships that you're building, that's what's going to help you reach Success Club. That's what's going to help you rank advance and build your team, or the relationships. Okay. So if you're struggling with time management and like getting everything done that you feel like we need to do as a coach, make sure the one thing that does not sacrifice is conversations and relationship building. Like, I'm giving you permission to post a little bit less on Facebook to do more of the talking to people and the actual relationship building. A lot of my posts on Facebook like start conversations, but like I think too often we spend too much time like thinking, what do I post? What should I post? And not actually like doing the work. And the work is starting conversations and just talking to people. And like the best advice that I can give you for talking to people is just talk to everyone like they're your best friend. Right? Like, just talk to everyone like your best friend, and they're going to feel that trust and that relationship building with them, or within the conversation. Okay. And, before you send a message, like if you're talking to everyone like they're your best friend, you should never sound salesy to your best friend. Right? So reread the message before you send it to someone and be like, put yourself in their shoes. And how would you feel if you're on the receiving end of the message? If you don't feel lots of love and like it's coming from a place of caring, and if you feel like it sounds salesy, then it probably does. Okay. So just step back, keep it simple. Relationship building. Anytime a conversation dies, like if I'm talking to a prospect about joining a challenge group and the conversation just dies, I learned this from Jessica, my success partner. I go on to Operation BFF. I go and I be their best friend. I go and I just talk to them and I go back to square one, which was being their best friend. So screw the challenge group, screw the coaching opportunity, screw whatever we were talking about. And I make sure that person knows that I care. Because that's really important in the relationship building process. That builds trust. And trust is very key to your business, right? So one of my favorite quotes when we're talking to people is, I think it's really easy. We love all these things about Beachbody, right? We love the coaching opportunity. We love Shakeology. We love the workouts. We love the community. We love everything. It's so awesome. Well, facts sell, stories tell. So don't get in this habit of vomiting on people and product vomiting or just bleh. Like, you get so excited that all this information has just come out of your mouth way too much, way too quickly. So make sure that anything that you're telling people about Shakeology, challenge groups, like for me, I always tie it into a story. I use my story, or I go and I find a story that person's going to relate to. So like I use people's stories on the team all the time. Like if I'm talking to a mom, I can't really relate that well to moms, to be honest. So I use a mom's story like Emma's, and I tell that story so that I can relate to them. And that really helps build trust with people as well, because no one wants to be told all the facts about there's 70 plus superfoods and antioxidants and phytonutrients and all this stuff in Shakeology. No, they want to know that health and nutrition helped a mom overcome her postpartum depression. Working out and eating healthy is what helped her overcome her struggles. They don't care about all of the details and that stuff. Okay. So facts sell, facts sell, stories tell. I thought I got it backwards for a second. Okay. So, one of the things, conversations die, right? Obviously there's going to be points of a conversation where if you hit a wall, either they stop responding or, something happens. Don't ever take it personally. Okay. Because a lot of times what will happen is while you're having a conversation with someone and you'll see like seen, and you can tell that they read the message and you're like, oh my gosh, like so-and-so read my message and they didn't respond. They must not want to be a coach and they probably think I'm super salesy. And oh my gosh, I don't know if they want to be my friends anymore. Like we start telling ourselves this whole story, right, of what happened. When in reality, that person was busy when they read your message. They have a life just like you and they forgot to respond. it's just not at the top of their to-do list. They've got a jillion other things going on. So all you need to do is just remind them that you care and just check back in. You just need to follow up. And even when conversations die, I sometimes will just send a message like, so people always know my door's open. I make sure that people always know my help, my friendship. It's not a one-time offer. This is a lifetime offer. And my door is always open. So, when a conversation dies or if it's not the right time, people always know they can come back to me. And the other thing is, with my door being open is I'm constantly inviting people to inbox me. If you follow me on social media, you probably see me say this every single day. At the top of my Instagram post, it says, FB friend request me at Lauren Kaliski, okay? At like 90% of my posts say that. So people go and search me from Instagram on Facebook. At the end of my Instagram post or my Facebook post, it'll say, comment below or inbox me. Like, I'm giving people a call to action so they know my door is open and they can reach out to me. And what that does for your business is huge. Okay, so it's not like you're going to start posting a call to action and all of a sudden you're going to get your inbox flooded. Okay, that's not how it worked for me. I started posting that call to action, and slowly but surely people started messaging me. And it was like this snowball effect, right? At first it was only a handful and I could keep up with all those conversations, but now I've got so many incoming conversations. I counted my inbox, and just from today, I had 15 new messages of people coming to me. That's just from today, 15 new messages, not ongoing conversations. Like, that's insane numbers of people that are coming to me on a daily basis because I'm constantly reminding people that my door is open. My door is open to talk. My door is open to listen. My door is open if you need help. And they know that. They know that my door is always open. So make sure you're giving people that call to action. And even if you hear nothing back from that for a long time, keep doing it. Facebook friend request me, connect with me on Facebook. Like, just, I'm constantly telling people what I want them to do. Okay. So when I'm on Instagram and I'm on Pinterest and I'm on all these different social blogging, I'm on all these social media sites, and somewhere on the social media site, it's very clear to contact me and to connect on Facebook. Okay. And when they do, so I'm taking all these different social media sites and I'm funneling them all to Facebook. Okay. All to me on Facebook. And then when they add me on Facebook, I accept their friend request, and every single friend request that I get, I send them a message. I say, hey girl, thanks so much for sending me a friend request. Are you also into health and fitness? I use that same message for every single person that's ever sent me a friend request. And I may have even sent that message to some of you. So that is the message that I use to make sure I start the conversation with all of my new friends. Okay. A couple tips when you're just talking to people. Hold on one second. I'm going to just take a step here. And if you guys have questions at any point, I forgot to mention, like, I like to interact with you guys when I'm doing this. So if you have questions at any point, feel free to type in the chat box. And that kind of slows me down because I know I talk really fast when I get excited. So, I want to remind you to disconnect people from points. You know, we have these goals, and they're Success Club goals. And I think as a new coach, I looked at each person as a potential Success Club point. I was like, oh yeah, I'm having this conversation with so-and-so, and so-and-so said they're going to buy a challenge pack. So that's going to be 2 Success Club points. And I made this mistake of counting my eggs before they hatched. Don't count your eggs before they hatch. Don't connect people to points. People are not points, okay? And because if you do that, it comes off in your conversation. People can tell. So make your first intention to help, okay? And that happens on, a lot of times, it happens on their timeline, not yours. They have to be ready. So you have to help them get to the point of being ready. And there's definitely things in the conversation you can do to help them overcome objections and push them off the ledge and get them going. But it has to be on their timeline. Like, if they're not ready, they're not ready, and they're not going to buy, right? They're not going to sign up if they're not ready. So make sure that, you disconnect people from Success Club points, and just make sure your goal is to help as many people as possible. And if you help as many people as possible, you're going to hit your Success Club goals. Okay. And every no that you hear right now is a no, not right now. Okay. It's not no, never. It's just no, not right now. It doesn't mean that they're not going to come back to you. I hear no on a daily basis, and all those no's that I hear are my Success Club points in the future. Okay. And if you stay relentless in your message on social media, you're posting, sharing your journey, sharing your story, telling people what you're up to, what programs you're doing, how your life is changing, just stay relentless in your message. And those people that all said no are going to come back around. As they see you continue trudging forward and moving forward in your business, they're going to be like, whoa, okay, so, like for me, for example, when I first started this, like a lot of my friends didn't take me seriously because they didn't know me for health and fitness, right? But, now that I've been doing this for 2 years, they're finally like, okay, Lauren, like tell me a little bit more about this, right? So it just took people time of getting to know me and really building that trust. Even with people that I had the relationship with, I had to build their trust as someone that knows what they're talking about in terms of health and fitness. I didn't have that before I became a coach. Some of us do if you have a background in, holistic health or personal training or something like that. But for me, I was just an average person, an average girl. Yeah, 2 years. It takes time, and it's something you have to be totally relentless in and not give up. The only way you don't succeed at this business is if you give up. I truly believe that. So just be relentless in your message. And like I said, a reminder, no matter of the outcome of any conversations, if you hear a no or not right now or it dies, just make sure they always know your door is open and that you're there to help. Okay. So that is pretty much everything that I've got for you guys tonight on building your network. I want to give you a couple takeaway call to action items, to kind of, go out there and do after this call. So first and foremost, even when the stuff that we talked about today, building relationships, expanding your network, it takes time, right? So even when it feels like it's not working, keep going, even when it's not working, because that's when it's really working the most. You're planting seeds that you can't see all the time with these invitations or calls to action. You're planting seeds with people and they're thinking about you. Okay. And stay consistent with it. Just to give you an idea, some of my very first coach prospects, like the very first people I approached about coaching 2 years ago, are just joining my team today. So sometimes this process is not overnight and it takes time, and that's okay. All of the time you're investing now will be your business, your Success Club points, your team in the future. And 3 action items. So first and foremost, I want you all to challenge you all to get vulnerable and to put yourself out there. So baby steps, if you haven't shared any of your story yet, just share a piece of your story. Or if you've already put your story out there on social media, share another layer. Like I like to say my story's like layers, like it's out there, but there's still a lot of stuff I haven't talked about yet. And I'm still, getting in the process of getting outside my comfort zone and sharing it. So I want you all to get out there and share your story on social media. Okay, a part of your story at least. Get vulnerable with people. Open yourself up and do something scary. And what's going to happen is when you make yourself vulnerable with people, they're going to be vulnerable with you. They're going to message you and they're going to open up about all this stuff that they're going through, which is going to give you the perfect opportunity to help them. Okay. The second is share that story on a new form of social media. So if you already post all the time on Facebook, I want you to get out there and try something new. Maybe you make a YouTube video or you make a blog post about your story and pin it to Pinterest. Get out there and expand your horizons and put your story on a new form of social media because, you never know. When you put stuff out there, it stays in the cyber world forever and it can end up generating so much of your business. Like people friend request me all the time. And when I send them that message, they tell me where they met me. They'll be like, oh, I found you on Instagram, or, oh, I found your story on Pinterest and I saw your blog. So like when I start the conversation with people, every time they're friend requesting me, I'm able to gauge where these people are coming from and what's effectively working. And what I'm hearing the most of where people are finding me is from that blog post that I made 2 years ago. And it's from Pinterest and it's from Instagram. It's from all these places where I put myself out there and never knew it was going to ever amount to anything. But I just did it because I knew I needed to meet new people. Okay. And the third action item is to add a call to action to the end of your post. So either ask them a question, comment below, inbox me, friend request me, fill out the application here. Like if you're using SurveyMonkey, I don't care. You need to ask them to do something and for it to be simple. It shouldn't be something like super complicated. So ask everyone to do a call to action at the end of your post and see how much more traffic that generates. Okay, let's go to some of these questions real quick. Suggestions on where to blog. I'm on Blogger, but I do not suggest doing it on Blogspot. Actually, I think WordPress is better in terms of capability. There's also Wix.com, Squarespace. There's a lot of free websites that you can build blogs on, but I think Blogspot, honestly, I'm on Blogspot, and there's a lot of limitations in terms of plugins and different things you can do. So if you're going to host on a free blog site, and you want to keep it blog, I suggest WordPress. Questions about blog and paying to Pinterest. Do you gain traction on your blog from Pinterest? Yes, Sarah. I actually get like 1,000 page views a day on my blog, and all of that traffic is coming through Pinterest. So all I do is every time I blog post, every time I do something on my blog, I just pin it to Pinterest and I link it back to that post so that everything's tied together. It's just like a big revolving circle of like me. Everything's like tied from one social media outlet to the next. So that's a great way to grow traffic. And what happened was just a couple of my blog posts, like a handful of them. And I think the same thing has happened to Alexa Campbell as well. Like some of her blog posts have just driven all of the traffic to her blog. And we both get like a ridiculous number of page views every day from Pinterest. All my blog traffic comes from Pinterest is what Alexa said. What all do you put on your blog? So my blog started out, as Sarah said, as like just clean eating recipes. It was really just a hobby, had nothing to do with Beachbody. And now I have incorporated more Beachbody. So I'm talking about some of my challenge groups, like entrepreneurial stuff, but I'm still posting recipes like all the time. Sarah, did you want to add something?
Oh no, that was it. Let's just see, is there one more question? Oh, she was just saying what is on her blog. No, do you have anything else to add, Lauren? I was just gonna kind of wrap up. Was there anything else?
Yeah, no, if you want to check out my Instagram or my blog, you can find me at Kitchen Queen Eats. I'll type it into the chat, and it's kitchenqueeneats.com. Like, I just want you to know, like, I'm very technology challenged. Doing the simplest things is hard for me. So if I can learn how to do this, you can learn how to do it too. I really just had to teach myself. And like almost every question can be answered on Google when it comes to this stuff. So, YouTube BFF. Mm-hmm. So when you go and look at my blog and stuff, it's really basic. It's not fancy. Like, don't try to be a perfectionist. Don't try to be perfect. Like, just put something up there. Get something out there. That's what matters. If we wait until it's perfect, it's never going to happen. Okay.
Awesome. So that was really awesome, and I feel like I took a ton of notes, tons of nuggets, and I feel like that is definitely a call that all of us are going to be going back to. I know I'm redoing my Rock the Basics right now, and I'll absolutely be putting this call in there. It's awesome. So thank you, Lauren, for sharing your wealth of knowledge. You amaze me. Like, you've just grown so much, and it's so awesome to see you share. Like, you're a natural at it. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you so much for taking the time and sharing and including your team. I mean, Team FitRev just amazes me and rocks my world for sure. So for those of you guys watching the recording, I'm going to take Lauren's advice. I'm going to ask you to subscribe to my YouTube video or to my YouTube channel. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you get updates on when we post new team calls and any training that I post up on YouTube. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Team TryCep, Team FitRev, for being on. I hope you guys have an awesome night and a great rest of your week. And we will see you guys next week. Next week we have Alexa Campbell on our team call. So thanks, you guys. Have a great night. See ya.
Bye.